Okay, so I'm listening to Gary Vee as per usual, and he's saying that first thing I need to do, audio and written. That's a game changer right now. So get onto podcasting. There's this app called Anchor, which is supposed to be really good. I don't quite understand it. He just introduced it to me for the first time, so I need to look into that. But basically, I've got content I need to get out there, and audio, because it is very fast and quick and people have shorter attention spans. Audio is the way we're going, and so I need to do a podcast. The other thing is written. So LinkedIn, think of it more like a business mindset, whereas people go on Instagram like it's a club. You know, LinkedIn is like the office. So you got to talk in a business manner. It's about content. It's not really about entertainment so much. So it's information. Provide information. Make an article on how to write songs, or on what gear you use, or why there isn't any more excuses to be able to make music and distribute it anymore. Things like that. Just opinion pieces and information, you know. Do that. That's really good. And in terms of Instagram, he made this really interesting point, because he was like, when you're posting, are you posting for other people? Are you trying to entertain them or provide information for them? Or are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for your self-esteem or your ego? And even though I do a little mixture of both, you know, I think the reason I'm not posting is an indicator that I am doing it too much for my ego and not enough for providing people with information and entertainment. So really, I should be posting 4 times a day on these platforms. As Instagram, no excuse. That's like the easiest one for me, the one that comes most naturally. I really should, and just not worry about ego. Think about what I want to be able to facilitate, what I want to be able to provide. It's fucking scary because it's really windy and a tree might crush me. It's like might break, a branch just hit me on. Ow, that was. Anyway, yes, there really is no excuse. For example, right now I could post, if I was at home, I could post a picture about Masterclass, the resource that I love to use, and why I think there's no excuse for you to not be able to learn what you want to learn in this day and age. You've got access, the internet, amazing, online subscriptions. I should do something on morals, or like, you know, like Doctor Who, like that kind of friendship quote that has just been in my head for so long. And, you know, there's so many posts that I could be doing, just providing value, providing information and entertainment, so funny, and also music, and also opinion, you know, also just practical stuff. And then he said, you know, along the lines of audio and written being the future, on Instagram, add 5 to 6 more sentences underneath the picture, because that's really key. That will really increase your so just do it. And it's not about ego, it's not about self-esteem, it's about adding value. So you've been on break for like 2 or more weeks, man. You gotta get in on that shit. You gotta provide, you gotta get in the comment section, just slide in there, and you gotta add shit. Don't worry about what your hair looks like, or if you're in a bad mood, just go for it. Just participate and give and do what you want this year to all be about, okay? And lead by an example. A little bit of self-esteem to get, but focus. You're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for them, which in turn helps yourself. But anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, and another thing, in terms of online comments, like how to comment and like cultivate a community, it's all about reverse engineering, he says, you know, think about what you want and how to get that. Like, are you afraid to comment on a famous person's page, or are you afraid to put your opinion out there and for it to be like thrown around in the dirt, or, you know, criticized? Like, how else are you going to do this? Pick your battles and just realize that you can't please everyone, but it's not about you, it's about getting involved, and it's about adding value and cultivating a network and a community that you care about, not one that you don't care about, because that is like we've already got that. If you want to care about something, then get involved. So yeah, really good idea that he just planted in my head like that was to say like I put a cover out for Martha Sways, so hashtag Andy Shelf and comment on every post that talks about Andy Shelf. Same with Arctic Monkeys, same with Brene Brown, same with MasterCard. You know, just anything and everything for your musicians, for your artists like painters, drawers, manga, for, you know, and do that enough times. You know, add your $1.80's worth every day on the communities that you care about. It might be Conan Gray, it might be abroad in Japan. Just get involved, and then people come back to you, and yeah, it's going to be good. So do that. Oh, I accidentally pressed it. So an amazing story is like Gary is telling everyone at this conference, I think in Indonesia, how he worked for his parents in his parents' business till he was 34, and that's when he left it to start his own. And he left it with no money. So at 34 years old, he had no money. He started this business, and now look at him. He's like this fake, crazy fucking, like he's got everything. And well, he's not got everything, but he's built so much from 34. But he's saying like you can start from scratch at 34, and that's amazing, isn't it? Like, fuck. And so this insecurity that I have is that, say that I'm posting vlogs like this on YouTube, and I'm doing it now, and I'm coming out with all this content, which I'm not coming out with a lot, but like say that I, you know, post videos on a weekly basis, but then I run out of steam, and then years later, maybe 5 years later, like someone is looking at my social media accounts across them, YouTube, Twitter, and you know, they come across this content and they're like, where did this go? It just vanished. It's just, he stopped making content after 2020 or after 2022 or whenever. Like, he lost all this steam, but it was so promising. Like, he was on track, you know. Like, I have this insecurity that like people would just be like, oh well, I can't listen to his advice because look where he ended up, you know. Like, I guess caring about not only what other people think, but other strangers, like people I don't even know, and feeling shame and guilt at that. And it, I think going back to Gary's point, that's not what it's about, you know. He says that he worked so many years, he gave and gave and gave, and not just for the his parents' business, but like he was giving people information on Twitter for 4 years before people started to give a shit about him, before people started to say like, oh, you're right, or like, thanks for the information, or, you know, like he was getting some recognition. 4 years, 8 hours a day, just commenting, giving people information. 8 fucking hours a day. And then now Gary sees people, they come up to him and they're like, oh, thanks Gary, you've given me so much value in life, and you're really inspiring, and I'm in this situation where nobody's listening to me. And Gary asks them, well, how long have you been posting content? And they're like, 3 weeks. And he's like, dude, it's all about patience. He talks about money and happiness, and he says, who wants money and who wants happiness? And everyone raises their hand. And he says, okay, well, that's good, that you shouldn't be ashamed. Do you think that those things should come easy? Do you think that should take a long time to get? Like, is it worth it? Or do you think it should be instant? And everyone thinks, no, it should take a long time to achieve happiness and get money. And he's like, well, yeah, it's funny because in this day and age, everyone wants this quick fix. Everyone wants it instantly, to prove it to their friends, to prove it to their parents. They're missing the point. This is a long haul game. You can't give up. You can't lose hope. It's about patience. It's about grind. It's about hustle. It's about enjoying the process. So otherwise you're looking at it wrong. You know, it's supposed to take time. It's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be tough, to weed out all the other people. There's 7.7 billion people in the world. There's only a couple of Mark Zuckerbergs or anyone. You can't expect, not everyone can expect to be like him. So you really have to stand out. You really have to keep in the game. It's up to you, and it's about patience and all those things. So don't think about it like you were thinking about it. That's wrong. It's not about what other people think. It's about you enjoying the process and you being patient, and you being willing to put up with all that shit, because at the end of it, it's just emptiness. It's just noise. It's just background noise. It doesn't matter. In here, it should be quiet. Don't let the positive stuff get to you. Don't let the negative stuff get to you. Just don't care about judgment. Don't care about opinions. Don't even judge yourself or care about your own opinion. Just do.